We're just at the tip of the iceberg, and if New York is doing this, now we're looking at Illinois, California. This is blowing up. And when you mention munis, that makes me nervous because I own a lot of municipal bonds. If it flows over to that, it then hurts almost all investors in a pocket as well.
Hold on a second. I want to go to Quentin because he's very close to this. Quentin's wife, I believe, is a teacher, and teachers are getting shafted all over the place. At the same time, though, the money going towards education is increasing. So you have this terrible situation where they're firing teachers on the one side, but the money for education lobbyists is going up, Quentin.
In fact, she's a librarian, but I get the picture. She works with people who are, to my mind, less skilled than she is. They've been there 20 years. They make twice her salary. And it isn't a good system. It's a seniority system.
So how do you change it, Quentin?
A serious financial crisis, a come-to-Jesus moment that changes the cockamamie proposition system, that brings down the prison industrial complex, that kills the way cops can retire at 20 years and move to the next town and make money. All of these things are geared to a whole different kind of America. Only a serious financial crisis will change the thinking. I'm sorry.
Pat,
people don't seem to be able to do it on their own.
Is this doomsday talk warranted, or are we a little bit overstating it here?
Well, I mean, it's a serious issue, and I think it's interesting that, you know, aside from the dimension that Quentin had about, cops retiring in 20 years and moving around, most of the discussion of this segment has mirrored the national political debate at both the federal and municipal level of talking about easy targets like corruption and bridges to nowhere and yada yada, when the real issue is entitlements, whether at the federal level or the state level, these high levels of benefits that are locked into the system, and until you address those, you don't begin to fix the problem.
Well, Toby, hold on a second, because Toby, what that means is that contracts are going to have to be torn up.
Well, they are, but look at the real McCoy here is showed the problem. But let's talk about where they fixed it. Look at Indiana. Look at what the state of Indiana has done over the last 5 years. They had revenue lowered because of their automobile industry issues. So guess what? They have less employees today. It's one of the only states in America. Mitch Daniels, bless his soul, is a leader who solved the problem. They have $1 billion of cash in the bank in reserve. They have a balanced budget. Their test scores for their schools have gone up. The services have not been cut. Let's not get gloom-doomed to say that we can't solve the problem. We don't have people to solve the problem like Mitch Daniels.
We can solve the problem. In fact, look at education in New York. School enrollment, public school enrollment is down over 4% over the last decade. Non-teaching employment, people who are not teachers, up 26%.
Administration.
We can make cuts without hurting children.
The education lobby, so to speak.
That's right. But in fact, instead, people like the speaker in New York, Sheldon Silver, want to raise taxes. More taxes in a state like New York, it's going to turn New York from the empire state into the welfare state. People who earn a living are simply going to leave.
Betsy Ross, thank you very much, Betsy McCaughey. And, of course, our Bulls and Bears, we appreciate it. And now it's